Good morning, everybody. Good morning again, everybody. Keith Engle here for Jack and Keith's Weekend Playbook. Great to have you with us. A banner weekend. I'm away just back from a trip to Colchester, Connecticut to deliver a bunch of my stepson's storage stuff that has been here for years. And we rented a truck. I drove it down. We had a nice weekend in Colchester. Hot yesterday, though. Also had a tasting for him and his fiance's wedding, which is coming up next May. A tasting at the restaurant. Oh, God, it was awesome. Home late last night, but a great weekend. And we're glad you're all with us today. We're welcoming everybody that's on with us on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. Hopefully some news on a new possibly Roku affiliate and stuff coming in the near future. And again, thank you to all the groups that allow me to share this with you. Allow us to share this with you. You'll see them scrolling at the bottom of the page throughout the show and all my shows going forward. And we'll mention them as time allows. John Gonzalez, Greg Rawlings, Flo and the Gang, Tanner D, all you guys on your great websites or Facebook pages. Tremendous work. Especially John Gonzalez. You get my number one shout out, buddy. Jack's not with us today, and he won't be with us Friday as he is on a vacation. He's got his, I think, 6 grandchildren with him. So busy time for Jack. A little apologies in order for yesterday's show. We did it remote from Colchester, and we had some issues. Things were going fairly well until they didn't. It got hot really fast, and my iPad died. And then the sun was blinding me. Didn't prepare well for a location like I usually do when I'm away and doing a remote. But we'll try to catch up on some of those topics today and some other stuff. It's, again, without Jack, it'll be more you and me, and you'll be my co-host today. So feel free to bring up your topics that you want to chat about. We'll get into some preseason football. You know, there's some good, there's some bad. Don't get overexcited. Don't get too disappointed. But I would like to see the NFL start using this, the NFL teams start using this the way it should be used, which is to get ready to play football, real football. The Yankees lose again. Just they cannot score without hitting home runs. 20-31 in their last 51. Guys, this is a problem. And they are teetering on being out of the playoffs. The Mets lose their 7th in a row. Ichiro gets his number retired. Jen Powell, first woman umpire in MLB history. Congratulations to her. She's done all the positions now. She started at first base on Friday, worked her way around, did home plate yesterday. By all accounts, she got great grades. Jimbo Fisher looking to get back into college football. Good luck. Boston extends Joe Mazzulla. For whatever reason, I don't know. The man doesn't coach. They just go out and shoot 3-pointers. I could coach that. The WNBA, what is going on with the sex toys being thrown on the court? Please, people, stop. They also had their first 30-20 game yesterday. Aja Wilson from the Vegas team did that yesterday. We're going to talk about all of that and more. And I welcome all of you in this morning. Who's with us this morning? Let's take a quick look who's here. So you can say hello. Hello, Rick. How are you, my friend? Good to have you with us up in Amsterdam. Hope you're going to stay cool these next few days. God, I swear to God, I almost had heat stroke on the miniature golf course yesterday, where I got my ass kicked, by the way. It was absolutely handed to me. My wife beat me. The 2 kids beat me by like, I don't know, 10 strokes. Linda, good morning. Our good friend Linda McGrath, the wife of our late friend, great friend, Mac McGrath. Good to have you with us. She's got totally off subject, which is fine because unless Jack's here, I can't stay on track. Neither can he, by the way. But next time you're in Colchester and not busy, let me know. We're 40 minutes away. I will do that, Linda. Probably be a little while before we get down that way again. And this was a busy trip. Like I said, we had a whole truck to unload. I've had this stuff plus we bought some new chairs and some new furniture, and they were taking some of the old stuff. So we had a nice ride down 95 and 84. People are nuts on the roads, I got to tell you. But I will, Linda, and it's great to hear from you as always. I know Linda checks in almost every morning, and we love it. And we hope you're doing well, Linda. Are you still? Are you staying in Connecticut or moving? I don't think I heard it from you, so I don't want to repeat rumors. But somebody had whispered in my ear that you might be moving away, and we hope you're doing well wherever you end up. So. Thank you, Linda, for popping in this morning. Listen, the preseason games, right? And I know I started to get into this yesterday, but I know, and when we cut the show a little short yesterday because I said we were having some technical issues with the heat, and I probably should have preempted the show, but we try. I always try because I love being here with you guys. We've talked a little bit about preseason, a lot about preseason football, probably. Should we get excited? Should we get excited, that Shedeur did well? Should we get worried that Schlock in New Orleans didn't play well? What should we get excited about? What should we be concerned about? It's hard to tell right now. Again, back in the day, we played preseason football games for the sole purpose of getting ready to play real games. Now we try not to make sure guys get hurt. We did see more starters, I guess, play even a series yesterday than I would have expected. If you remember, in the past few years, we've had an epidemic of players not playing at all in preseason, which has led to an epidemic of really bad football in September. I do think there are important things in preseason. I think rookies need to play and get ready. Rookie quarterbacks. You've got rookie quarterbacks in Cleveland. Well, Flacco's supposed to be the starter. And we'll talk about Shedeur in a second. Where else? I'm having trouble remembering where we have rookie starters. Or new coaches. Listen, Caleb Williams needs all the reps he can get in Ben Johnson's system. There's already rumors that he's not picking up the system because it's too complicated. Well, he's had, 2 weeks in OTAs, and 2 weeks in training camp. Dumb it down a little. There's important things, though. Bad teams establishing winning cultures is important. Patriots with a nice win over the team formerly known as the Redskins. I'm not excited and saying, "Oh, we're on our way. We're going 16-1." It's not what this is about. It's about getting ready to win in September. In September, not October. But that was a nice win for the Patriots. Drake May plays one series, has a little up and down because he had a bad turnover, which Vrabel had a great I couldn't find a clip. I was going to play it this morning, but I saw it scrolling through some stuff yesterday. He was asked after the game by a reporter. It's not quite Bill Belichick 2.0, but you can tell the culture and the atmosphere is changing in the Patriot locker room and on the field. He was asked by a reporter. First, he gave the reporter a shot, which was awesome because the reporter asked and answered his own question about was he disappointed, and did Drake hear about the turnover he had? And the guy went on and on and on and answered his own question, basically. And Vrabel called him out and said, "So you're asking and answering your own question. Am I done here?" And his one sentence response was, "You pretty much covered it. Next." A little Belichick-esque, right? I like that. But I like what the Patriots did. Offensive line was good. Travion Henderson was exciting. By the way, this is why kick returns are important in football, and they're very hard to do today. We want to take any risk of injury out of sports, of course, because they're not dangerous. They should be dangerous. But an exciting 100-yard return for Travion Henderson yesterday. He's going to be an exciting player. I think the Browns winning. I think the Giants and Jets playing well is important to those two franchises. Russell Wilson seemed to play well. Jackson Dart, a little up and down, but he threw an absolute bullet for a touchdown. You saw a glimpse of his talent. Saturday or Sunday, whatever it is. I guess it was Saturday. Very important. Does it matter in the long run? Maybe not. But establishing positive culture in training camp and in these preseason games, what else are we playing them for? If all you want to do is evaluate young guys and marginal guys and make your roster, you can do that in training camp. And I'm not saying these games are not important because they are, but they made them unimportant. I had a little bit more interest this year, so far this year, because of the Shedeur Sanders situation, the whole Browns quarterback situation. And Shedeur played very well. Now, again, the caliber of players he was playing against plays into this. But imagine if he didn't play well. It's very easy to say, oh, yeah, he's only, and I do it. I'm guilty of it. Oh, he only played against second and third stringers. Well, imagine if he hadn't played well. That was a hugely important game for Shedeur yesterday. I don't care if he was playing against a bunch of UPS drivers. That was a hugely, is that a word? Important. I guess huge is enough. Huge? No, hugely. I gotta say it repeatedly. I don't know. Very important game for him anyway. Justin Fields. I've liked Justin Fields for a long time. You guys know that who listen to me. He shows flashes of brilliance, and then he shows some ineptitude. But he led a very methodical 79-yard drive in his one drive yesterday, which is what the Jets, want. And that's what Aaron Glenn wants. I think this Jet team could be good. Their defense is good. The Giants' defense is good. It was bad. The Colts, all this talk about, wow, Anthony Richardson healed so fast. He's going to be able to compete for the job with Daniel Jones. Gets hurt in the first series, gets absolute blasted. God knows how long he'll be out for. So, yeah, and Daniel Jones played. And, a lot of people said, oh, same old Daniel Jones. This game wasn't terrible. Wasn't great. But he didn't have any turnovers. What do you expect? Again, you're not going to get much out of these. You get a lot of vanilla calls and whatnot. The 70-yard field goal by, where's my notes here from yesterday? Cam Little for the Jaguars. That was an amazing play. His longest ever before that was like 57 or 58. Now, if he can, here's the thing. You're not going to have a lot of situations in a NFL football game where you have a chance to go for, even 65 really long field goals. It's hard to do at the end of the half because, easily they can be blocked and run back for touchdowns. You don't want to give up cheap touchdowns. The only time I really foresee somebody going for a 70-yard field goal, to use this as a perfect example, is, I want to touch on one thing other than football too, is at the end of the game when you're behind by 1, 2 points, 3 points, and can tie it, but, giving up more points isn't going to hurt you. No time on the clock, or very little. That's about the only time I think you can attempt one of these. But it was an exciting event. Good catch. Check out the scratch on his face. Yeah, Vrabel again. I'm going to tell you, I told you guys all this, and even the Patriot fans. I don't understand why so many Patriot fans were down on Mike Vrabel coming here. They talked about the way it ended in Tennessee. Well, it ends bad for every coach almost. And Mike Vrabel went in there and turned around a franchise that was going nowhere, just like this one. And he had them in the playoffs the first season. He had them in the AFC Championship game in the second season. I would argue that team had less talent than this one. He's a very good coach. Very good coach. I love to see it too. And by the way, speaking of the Patriots, they had the unveiling of the Brady statue, which is 12 feet tall, by the way, in honor of his number 12. He had a couple of great lines during his 20-ish minute speech. Well, at one point he stopped and pretended he had a phone call, and he goes to the can't remember the guy's name who did the statue, but that was Coach Belichick, and he said there's still some room for improvement. That was funny. And also the jet line, which I wish I tried to play it yesterday. I should try to find it right now, actually. It was about the Jets, and it was about how this statue is not just for Patriots fans. It is also for Jet fans. I don't want to screw this up because it was a great comment. I had it queued up yesterday, but I couldn't play. That was the other thing. I couldn't play any videos. If I could spell, I could do this better. I meant to get this up earlier. I was looking for some comments from Mike Vrabel, and I couldn't find them. There's a short one. I don't want a 12-minute one. I don't want. Is there an 18? Is it 18 seconds? Is that the short? I guess that's it. All right. Let's see if this will play. Hold on a second. This is really funny stuff, by the way. And funny's funny. If you hate Brady, don't freaking tell me that he's a whatever. If you don't think this is funny, then you don't understand funny. That's all I can tell you. Right? So have I brought this into the studio yet? All right, let me bring it into the studio. Let me make it bigger, and here we go. Ready? Listen.
But in the end, this statue isn't just for Pats fans. It'll also give all the Jets fans something to throw their beers at as they leave the stadium every year. Probably in the second quarter. Maybe the third.
Oh, my God. I loved it. That was an awesome line. I've been really railing on my Jet friends all weekend. Oh, God, what a great line. I don't care if you hate Tom Brady, love Tom Brady. Show some respect for Tom Brady. Jesus, you people. Not all of you people. And maybe in retirement, people have a different view of Tom Brady. If you hate him, I could care less if you hate him. It bothers me not at all. It shows me that you don't really understand the game of football if you don't understand what Tom Brady's all about. That's what I'm going to tell you right now. And Linda will be in Connecticut for a little while longer. So we'll try to make that happen. Linda, I'm sure we'll get down there. I don't know. It's hard because our future daughter-in-law's family is in Mass, so they go up that way, which everybody's like, we're 2.5 hours away, I guess, but a little over 2.5 hours. Took me about 3 hours with this truck I was driving. And they're very busy people, man. But we'll see what we can do, Linda. If I get out there, I'll certainly reach out to you, and hopefully it'll be before you moved, if in fact you do. So good stuff with Brady, I thought, yesterday. What else did I get to yesterday? I'm looking at my list here. Jackson Dart, the whole Giant situation. And I'm sure, Linda, I'm sure Mac was very interested in this situation yesterday. The Giants have put themselves in a very tough spot. And I don't disagree. Listen, Russell Wilson's done. I don't think he played well, but I'm not putting a lot of stock in that. But they've left the franchise. John Mara has left the franchise in the hands of two guys, and Daboll and Shine, who I like, and given them an ultimatum that they need to be better. Oh, I think I might have skipped a comment there for you, Rick. I'm sorry. I'll go back. He said they need to be better. He hasn't put a number on it. He didn't say make the playoffs or get fired. He didn't say win 9 games or 8 games. But do they I mean, human nature says, I want to protect myself, but their job is to do what's best for that organization. And again, I'm not saying I know what's best for that organization, because some quarterbacks can play sooner than others. But if things start to go badly and they rush Jackson Dart trying to save their jobs, that may work out badly if he's not ready. If he is ready and Russell Wilson's playing decent football and, they're just worried about getting to 8 and 9. And again, when I say decent football, that's not setting the bar terribly high for Russell Wilson. Could they make a bad decision that way? I mean, again, you would think that if they weren't playing Jackson Dart, they were protecting him and protecting the organization and not looking out for themselves. I think it's much more likely if they're going to go the human nature way and we have to do what we can to save our jobs, that would be to protect Jackson Dart. Or not protect Jackson Dart and throw him in there too soon. If he's ready to play, though, play him. Some guys can play out of the gate. Some guys cannot. Patrick Mahomes is always brought up as a great example of sitting a guy for a year. Well, that team was pretty good. They didn't really need him. I think they won 11 or 12 games without him. And I don't know that he wasn't ready to play, but I trust Andy Reid to make that right decision, and it's worked out pretty good for them. Some guys are ready to play sooner. Dan Marino sat only out a few games. Drake May showed last year, while he wasn't great, he was very good and got better as the season went on. And that's the key. The key is not to destroy a guy's confidence. If he's not going to be in a position to succeed, and that was a scary part with Drake May last year, that offensive line was awful. But his athleticism allowed him to keep plays alive where Jacoby Brissett could not. And they were a better football team with him on the field. And he was a guy who was learning while he was playing. Some guys get their confidence destroyed. Zach Wilson, Exhibit A. But guys should play more. J.J. McCarthy, Rick, that's a guy I was thinking of. Look at J.J. McCarthy should be taking the majority of the snaps in every preseason game for Minnesota this year. There's zero reason not to do that. Oh, well, he might get hurt. You might get hurt shaving. Guys get hurt in the shower, sneezing. When you start trying to protect guys from injuries, guess what happens? They get hurt. Play him. He needs to be ready, and he needs to improve this next 3 weeks. By the way, look at that. Isn't that exciting? Woo-hoo! I love it. Anyway, he took the stream of consciousness today. Sorry, Jack. What's Lindy got here? Mac would have totally agreed with you. Well, he probably would have. Mac and I agreed on a few things, disagreed on a few others. And sometimes we'd argue, but we were really talking about the same thing. It's just communication, right? It goes back to the Giants, man. If I'm bringing in what I think is my franchise quarterback, I've got to have a coach that I know. And forget about Shine, but I mean, Shine and Dabo are tight at the hip. They're going to go together when they go. But if I'm bringing in what I think is my franchise quarterback, and they have done that, I got to have a guy that's going to be with him for a while. So either I'm not really got them on the clock. And by the way, I'm also okay with Dabo bringing this quarterback along. I think he did a pretty good job with another great quarterback, if I'm not mistaken. You could look it up. He plays out in Western New York. He went to Wyoming. He's the reigning NFL MVP. You can watch him Tuesday night on Hard Knocks. If you don't know who he is still, let me know and I'll tell you his name. Dabo was greatly responsible for the maturation and improvement of Josh Allen, who, by the way, when he came into this league, was miles behind Jackson Dart, in my opinion. And I loved Josh Allen coming out of Wyoming. I was praying for a way for the Patriots to trade up. But that didn't happen. So there's that. Again, coaches, start using the program. NFL organizations in general, start using the NFL preseason for what it should be used for. Getting ready to win games in September, and stop giving me crappy football for the entire month because you don't play your players. And young guys, like whoever the Browns think their quarterback is, if they think it's Dylan Gabriel, then play him. If they think it's Shedeur Sanders, then play him. And again, I'm on record with Shedeur Sanders, and I'll repeat myself for the 27th time. I think he'll be a productive NFL player. Might be as a backup. It might be as a game managing starter, or he might even surprise us. Who knows? We don't know. I will tell you this. He was not a 5th round draft pick. He wasn't a top 10 or maybe even a 1st round pick either. But he was not a 5th round pick. He's better than Dylan Gabriel. I will tell you. I think you'll see, and this is I know this is a bit of a polarizing comment that I'll make next because I'm going to include Dylan Gabriel in it with another player. And I've been mocked for these comments. Dylan Gabriel is a product of his system at Washington. Or he was at Oregon. I think Michael Penix was a product of the system at Washington the year they went to the national championship game. Great college quarterback. I don't see it happening. Everybody's enamored with Michael Penix in Atlanta. I'm not. The coaches are, and they know more than I do. I'm not saying they don't. But I watched him play, and the man's got some holes in his game, and they can be fixed at the pro level. Delivery, it's a little slow with the ball in my mind. I have made the comment that Kirk Cousins will be the quarterback there at some point during this season, and not due to injury. Watch Quarterback on Netflix, by the way, because this last season, I think you get I like Kirk Cousins so much more after seeing the first time he was on a year or so ago and the second time. I was not I'm still not the biggest Kirk Cousins quarterback fan, but I'm a big fan of Kirk Cousins, the man. Watch it. You'll see what I mean. Just go watch the 2 seasons and then compare what happens in Atlanta, because in the first season, it also focused on Marcus Mariota, who got benched. And you know what he did? He packed his toys and went home. He just deserted his team. Kirk Cousins took it like a man and helped Michael Penix. What else is going on? You guys can feel free to comment anything you want to chat about. I don't have Jack to yell at me today when we jump around a little bit. Yankees lose again. 3 hits, 1 run. Putrid. They only won Saturday because they got a timely home run out of Trent Grisham. They're playing Stanton in the outfield. Disaster waiting to happen. Jason Dominguez looks lost again in left field. This team doesn't know how to win without hitting home runs. I've said this forever. I feel like it's Groundhog Day around here. Jack has told me constantly, oh, don't worry. They'll be in the playoffs. Doesn't really matter. Well, it does matter. Even if you make the playoffs, if you're going to play at a 20-31 clip over 50 plus games, is that a small sample size? Is there something wrong with me? Yankees today sit 1/2 game ahead of the Guardians. I'm sorry, the team formerly known as the Indians, for the last wild card spot. 6 games over 500. This team played great. I thought Aaron Boone did a really good job early in the season. But Aaron Boone is right back. I mean, there's so many things wrong with this team. I'm not going to go into them all again. Just to show you what run differential means, I know Drew's not with us today, and I talked to him, and he's constantly putting up the teams with the best run differentials. Well, how about pointing out that the Yankees have, I don't know, the third? Well, that's only the wild card teams. Yeah, they have the fourth best run differential. They suck. That's because they win games, when they are actually hitting home runs. They're 6 games over 500. What does that 81 mean? Max Fried struggles. If Mac doesn't, I saw a comment out here about Mac agreeing with me again. Sorry, Linda. If Max Fried doesn't become Cy Fried again, and Judge doesn't hit and can't play the outfield, this team is cooked. They're carbon copies of the teams from 2022 and 2023. Judge wins MVPs. They win the division. Didn't go to the World Series. They went to the World Series last year. 23. Judge misses a bunch of games. We get to Cy Young out of God, he gets hurt, and I've lost his name. Cole. And they don't even make the playoffs. There's not enough surrounding the superstars. Jason Dominguez still, I think, will develop into a decent player. Volpe still could be a decent shortstop. I don't need him. Why does Aaron Boone not sit him down here and say, look, first of all, sit and watch a few games. Second of all, here's the thing, Anthony. I don't need you to make spectacular plays. I don't need you to hit 30 home runs. I don't need you to do anything more than hit 230 and make all the plays in the field. That's all I need from you. Bird needs to play every day, or not every day. He needs to be the right-handed platoon. Goldschmidt can't hit right-handers to save his life today. You put him in the game for late-inning defense. And the Mets are no better. The Mets have lost 7 in a row. Where's the help coming from them? Alonso becomes the all-time home run leader there. Congratulations. Yes. I'm not in fire. Again, I would not fire Boone now. It's not going to do any good. Again, to my knowledge, it's teams firing managers during the season have won 2 World Series in the history of baseball. Maybe I'm wrong. I can think of 2 in my lifetime. Who would I like? I saw a ridiculous article yesterday that talked about Joe Girardi. Joe Girardi's not coming back to this dugout. Listen, my top candidate would be Donnie Mattingly. I'm glad my prediction didn't come true and that he'd be the manager of the Blue Jays by now. He's my number 1 candidate. My second candidate's already got a job, so he's not coming, and that would be Rob Thompson. very unlikely he's going to lose his job. But I don't want to just get retreads either. I'm not sure what to do. But what I want is somebody that is not just a puppet man for Brian Cashman. I don't want a guy who goes out here and looks at his script and says, oh, well, 6th inning, let's put in Weaver. 7th inning, let's put in so-and-so. 8th inning, put in so-and-so. I want a manager who actually follows his gut a little bit. Stop relying so much on analytics. And how we make all these trades, by the way, and Weaver's a 6th inning guy. Can somebody explain to me how my best reliever becomes my 6th inning guy? And I don't think you have to be an inning guy. You know what I want, Rick? You know what I really want? And I don't have a name for you right now. I want somebody like Billy Martin without all the other BS that Billy brought to the outside, off the field, in the clubhouse, in the bars. I don't want all that. But I want that baseball acumen. I want that aggressive style of play. I want that guy holding people accountable. I want to move base runners. I want the team to play good, sound, fundamental baseball. I want somebody who will take somebody out of the game when they make a stupid mistake. Reggie got taken out of the game, and Reggie wasn't the only guy Billy ever pulled out of the game in the middle of an inning. He was most viewed because it was on national TV. But I'm telling you, Jazz Chisholm should have been yanked out of that game 2 Fridays ago when he got doubled off on a pop-up 20 feet away from him because he was reading the second baseman's mind. That's what I want. I want somebody to teach some fundamentals. I like Carlos Mendoza a little bit, and he's gone, right? He was a Yankee bench coach, and now he's a Mets manager. I'm not even sure we can get that big guy because general managers are so involved in the game planning for baseball, which, by the way, you can't really game plan baseball because you know what's going to happen from inning to inning. It's not like football where you can really, I think, with a game plan, you can just really control the ebb and flow of the game if you execute it well. Baseball's a little bit harder than that. Well, this wasn't previously recorded either. Damn it. I didn't take this out of here. Hang on. Let me, because this has got me a little concerned now because how come I can't edit it? I don't want this previously recorded. I might as well leave it now. Maybe this is why people aren't putting up comments because I said I left a previously recorded up there. Oh, I got the wrong thing. Let me fix this banner. Rick, I think I still missed one of your comments, didn't I? So, yeah, that's the type of guy I want. Hold guys accountable. Teach them fundamentals. You can teach at this level. There's nobody saying you can't teach at this level. My God. So there you go. Rick, what was your other comment I missed? Oh, yeah, check out the scratch on Vrabel's face, yeah. Vrabel threw himself into a scrum the other day during a scrimmage with the team formerly known as the Redskins and his own team. Well, I thought I missed that one. Sorry. Shows you my brain, how my brain works. A little more baseball news. Another milestone reached yesterday. Jason Verlander's having a horrendous year. I think last time I looked, his ERA was over 6. But he struck out his 3500 guy yesterday, 3,500 strikeouts. That's a great milestone in baseball. And 3,000 strikeouts in the past was a huge milestone that would have always get you in the Hall of Fame. It's another one that I don't think anybody's ever going to hit again. We talked about nobody getting to 300 wins. Guys aren't even going to get to 200 wins. And they're not going to get to 350 strikeouts. So anyway, congratulations to Jason Verlander. Ichiro gets his number retired. Good for him. And Jen Powell does a great job of umpiring. First woman umpire in Major League Baseball. Great job. Did you see the smile on the Yes, I am so happy for her. Rick, you know something? I've had a lot of conversations about women in sports on this show. I have no problem. And my thoughts, I feel like, often get twisted. And a good friend of both of ours often would jump on me, but others too. I think I never said women shouldn't do jobs that men do. Right? I mean, obviously, there's been women officials in football and basketball for some time now. And I don't remember any uproar. I know in football there were concerns they could get hurt, all these big guys running around, whatever. If you can do the job, you know, there's an inherent danger in any job you do. Although I don't see a lot of danger for me in the next 16 days. I guess the roof could collapse. But yes, I'm very happy for her. Women can do men's jobs. All I say is they can't compete against them in sports. That's all. Most sports, right? But yes, she did a great job. And by all accounts, Rick, she has gotten very high grades and great compliments all around the league, especially the teams who were involved in this last series. She started out at first base. I think MLB did a really good job, by the way, of moving her. Obviously, they rotate. All the umpire crews rotate. And they started her at first base so she could get her feel for 3 games. First base, second base, third base, home plate on Sunday. And she did a great job. And she did have a great smile on her face. And I hope, I think they will. I hope that her colleagues will continue to support her. Listen, she can't do any worse than some of the guys. And I don't want robo umpires. You know how I feel about robo umpires and AI in sports. I hate it. But if you guys aren't going to give me an argument that you can do the job, and by the way, my good friend Dale Scott, I think he left one of the groups I belong to, former Major League Baseball umpire, because of all the umpire bashing that was going on. I say to Dale, you are a great guy. You are a great umpire. But the problem is a handful of guys, and we showed, Bo Crouch showed a montage of them on last Wednesday's National Streaming Sports Professional Sports Show. And some of the calls are so egregious, and they don't even have, what's his face? Don't you hate it when that happens? Who's my favorite umpire? It shouldn't be hard to find. I know I'm going to kick myself when I see his name. Oh, right now it's CB Buckner. By the way, Boone got thrown out for the 5th time yesterday. Oh, Angel Hernandez, of course. But you know what? Those guys are bad. Why make them better? I want. Again, it's no different to me for Major League Baseball. And I think I talked about this yesterday. And look, we're doing enough shows now that it's hard not to repeat myself, right? So you're going to get it. And we have different people in for different shows, so it's not that big a deal. Why do we have to go to robo umpires for balls and strikes to start with? By the way, this will get bastardized to be everything somehow. Why don't we just make the umpires we have better? My same argument I had about all the silly rules we put in for baseball players themselves. No shift, bigger bases, smaller, the base pass being shortened because of it. You can only throw over to third or first twice, or to a base twice. Actually, once, because I think the second time you can throw twice, but the second time you're done, it's an automatic steal. You've given him second base once you throw over there twice. The pitch clock. Why not just teach guys? And I've always used the shift as my example. Why do we have to eliminate the shift? Why don't we just teach guys not to hit into the shift? It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me the way we do things in sports today. By the way, still on baseball, Cal Raleigh gets to 45 yesterday. He's leading the major leagues. Judge's injuries ended his Triple Crown pursuit. But Cal Raleigh continues. Is he going to get to 60 home runs? What's he got? 40? I mean, it's doable. I would say he probably hit 15 in his first 40-ish games. But hitting 15 home runs especially as a catcher, hitting 40 home runs in your first 40 games and hitting 15 home runs in your first 40 games and 15 home runs in your last 40 games, totally different story. Mariners playing really good baseball, by the way. I have continued to tell you to watch out for them. They're a half game back. They've won 7 in a row now after yesterday's win. 9-1 in their last 10. Only a half game behind the Astros, who are not falling apart, but the Mariners are getting healthy. Even without the trades, I think this team would be the favorite to win this division here because their pitching is getting healthy. Bryce Miller, I believe, was due back. I don't know if he got back. We'll talk more about this on the MLB update Friday. I should be back to do that. I'm going to go out for lunch with my my dad, my stepmom for my birthday. Bryce Miller's not off the IL yet. But once he's back, and Kirby and Gilbert are pitching much better. Wu has had an all-star first half. And, listen, the rumors about Luis Castillo's best days being behind him are a bit exaggerated, as Mr. Mark Twain might say. He is 8-6. He has 100. Where's the strikeouts? 120 strikeouts in 138 innings. His ERA is 3.19. His WHIP is 1.19. He's not done. Everybody wants to say his best days are behind him. He's still an ace. And the other kids that I love so much there, Kirby, Gilbert, Miller, Wu. There's not a better starting 5 there. You can take the Dodgers all day long. I'll take the Mariners. I said it before the season. Check the tape. What else? We got a few minutes left here. Jack's off today, by the way. As I said, Jack's on vacation. He's got his 6 grandchildren, I think, with him, and they were going to do a bunch of, I think, some water park stuff. So if you're watching, Jack, I hope you're having a good time. And Jack will be off Friday as well, so I'll be solo on Friday as well. I don't know what that is. What is that note I made there? Jen Product first. What the hell is that? I don't know. Jimbo Fisher wants back in college football. Maybe we'll get into that in the college football huddle. Just a quick program note. We are back weekly with the college football huddle. At 7 o'clock Eastern on 7 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays. Preemptions here and there because of traveling and whatnot, but we'll be back live with that. We started last Wednesday, and we'll be previewing some of the conferences as we go through the next couple of weeks. But we got games, by the way, in just, 12 days. 12 games. We got real games. And week 0's got a couple of really interesting matchups, I think. Week 1's going to be huge. Texas against Ohio State. Miami, Notre Dame. What's the other top 10 matchup? LSU and Clemson. 3 games featuring top 10 matchups. Never happened in an opening week. And I'm not sure how many times it could have happened in history. Maybe the first time in history we've had this in 1 week. Amazing stuff. Can I can if he was pushed, yes. I did see his picture with his grandson at the Yankee game, and great picture. And by all accounts I can see, Jack's a great grandfather. I know he helps out with one of his grandsons often. One of the reasons I think we had to tape, it might have been why we had to tape the show early last Friday or Thursday for Friday, because I think he had to take care of one of his grandsons the next morning. And he takes some extra attention. I'll just leave it at that. And Jackson Jack sounds like one great granddad, I'll tell you. And it's a lot of fun being one of those, by the way. I'm not a big kid person, never been a big kid person. But there's one I love very much now, and I didn't think I could ever have this type of feeling inside me for a young child. And this damn kid just ruined me. And now she's got a little sister coming here in just what? Well, theoretically 8 weeks. Well, no, theoretically 6 weeks, but the mom is sure she's coming sooner. So good stuff. Good stuff. Excited about that. Just don't come on a Sunday. I mean, I hate to put my foot down, but as grandpa or papa, I have to put my foot down because we can't be having babies on Sundays. Go into labor if you have to. I don't need to be there for that. I'm just kidding. Sort of. Oh, my God. Did we get enough loud opinions and, smart takes? Well, I don't know about smart takes. Probably no smart takes today. By the way, I mentioned this at the top of the show. Why are we still throwing sex toys on the freaking courts on WNBA games? Can't we stop these people? Do we need to frisk you? Well, don't they frisk people before they go in games? Hello, sir. What is that? I go into a sports venue, I get frisked, basically. And I keep saying, by the way, you don't have a right just to do whatever you want, man. Jeez. No weddings, even Saturday. Well, Saturday's not so bad. I mean, college football, I can keep track on my phone. No Sundays, because I go out and I have fun. I always, and again, maybe I'm a horrible person, but I'm like, well, don't schedule birthday parties and weddings and anniversary parties or any party on a Sunday from September to February. Well, into February. No, nobody's doing it on Super Bowl Sunday, but just don't. And everybody's got to do it, right? I only have a few joys in life that I really don't want to miss. I get to see my friends, and Rick, I hope I get to see you one Sunday this coming season. I get to see them during football season on Sundays. People, that's the only time I see them a lot of back in my old stomping grounds. And I feel bad, but then I'm like, should I really need to apologize? Am I such a bad person? Maybe I am. I don't know. And we already miss a bunch of Sundays. We're going to be gone 3 Sundays, 3 consecutive Sundays on vacation in November. I think we get on a ship. We're on a ship for like 2 weeks, and then we're coming back and we're staying for a few days at my brother and sister-in-law's new place in Florida when we get off the ship. And we're flying on Sunday. So I'm missing 3 consecutive Sundays. I won't miss the games. I'll see the games on the ship and, well, in the airport, I guess, or my phone, my iPad. But not we're in the environment that I want to see. So anyway, that's me. That's good stuff. Now Jack would be having a fit with the show, wouldn't he? I wonder if we did. We had a lot of viewers live. We'll see what we had at the end. I see Paul spotted. John Gonzalez did not comment. I wanted to have previously recorded through these guys off. I left that up because of Friday's show. Anyway, we'll make sure that doesn't happen again. And again, guys, we apologize for yesterday's little, it was hard. I thought I did a test. It was really weird because my iPad would not play any videos. But when I did the test, everybody that responded said it was really good. And so I did the 8 o'clock show with Brian and James. And they said everything was good. And I started my show and it was really good for about an hour. I don't even know how long we got in, Rick, because it didn't share to my Facebook page again. Get me going on Facebook. Jeez. Well, guys, we only got a couple minutes left, unless somebody's got a last-minute sports question, because I'm rambling on about absolutely nothing here. Yeah, an interesting article I should have got into about NFL future power rankings, stacked all 32 teams based on long-term expectations. I only have 2 minutes. Let me see. Let me just look at this quick. I didn't see this article before. Overall, the Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs, Buffalo, Lions. This looks like recent expectations. Denver, Green Bay, Texans, 49ers. I think 49ers are going to have a tough year, by the way. Commanders. This looks like just what Minnesota's 11. Rick. So long-term expectations for my team, I don't know. I didn't read I should read the criteria here, I guess. My team's still at 18. I think my long-term projections are better than that. Maybe we'll get into some of that on Friday. We'll see how it goes. Guys, I thank you for joining me to start off your Monday morning. I hope you had fun. I did. I know we had some limited comments. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Linda. I'm sorry for people who wanted to comment, and I left up the previously recorded on the banner here. Oh, God. But again, thank you to all the groups you see scrolling at the bottom. John Gonzalez at the Sports Authorities, Greg Rawlings at America's Pastime, the Love for Baseball, Flo and the Gang at Bottom Line Sports, Tanner D and the gang over at Let's Talk Sports, Ken Krause at Golf Bud, Sports of All Sorts, and Ralph Williams from RW Media. I've done some guest shots on his Sports Corner that he does from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern every Tuesday with Smoking Jim Frazier. Always enjoy myself. Quick shout out to him. DDH, thumbs up. Mac McGrath, thumbs up. Glad to have you watching over us. Guys, I'll see you on Wednesday on both the National Streaming Sports, what do you call that thing? Professional Sports Show and the College Football Huddle at 7 p.m. Eastern. See you then, guys. Have a great week, a great Monday. Count down. Bye-bye.